is not arranged bait. This, in fact, is reality. Chinese men will treat you way better than your African men. You have probably seen videos of JC on TikTok.
I know this is gonna piss so many people off, but there's a popular saying on the Chinese internet says even a top tier man is just an average woman.
She majorly talks about women being the prize in their relationship and leading the trajectory of their relationships. As someone who has worked with the Chinese for over 4 years, basically interacting with both the male and the female Chinese gender, I can actually say that this is basically the truth. Chinese women have really high standards, especially when it comes to dating. 必须有钱、有车、有房子. Give me all of your money and I'll decide the portion to give to you. These are usually the standards they set in their relationships, thereby putting these men under so much pressure. Do they have a choice? Obviously not. They can only choose to level up or remain single for the rest of their lives. This brings me to the question, why? Why do the Chinese women have more leverage in their relationships? And why do these men have no choice but to treat their women better? This basically started as a result of the China's one child policy that lasted from 1979 to 2015. This China's one child policy was basically set to control the population growth in China. Families were expected to have just one child, or maybe two in certain occasions if the first child was a girl. And based on my research, I realized that people who did not go according to these laws or these policies were made to go through some certain levels of persecutions, like not having access to certain basic amenities and basic things you get from the government. So, because of this, people began prioritizing genders. I mean, if I'm only allowed to have just one child, I would rather go for a male child. This was basically the thought patterns of most families. This led to what we call gender selections as well as elective abortions. Many families began to pick sons over daughters. They prioritized this because they needed someone to carry their family names. Actually truly wonder if they never really thought about the consequences of this. I mean, if all the families picked a male child over a female child, who will these male children get married to when they grow up? This basically led to gender imbalance. There's now basically a high demand for women over men, thereby giving women a higher bargaining power and choices when it comes to relationships. So you see, women began to set high standards for men because I mean, if you cannot meet the standard, you can as well just push because there are actually tons and tons of men who are actually willing to meet the standards. Now, also because of this, there were improved treatment and standards because of the competition for female partners. So, we had more males and fewer females, and because these fewer females had lots of men who lined up for them. I mean, you have imagine having over 20, 30 partners wanting to get married to you as a woman. Of course, you have the opportunity to be able to pick from lots of options, thereby improving the way in which women are being treated. And sometimes they even began to see themselves as superior figures. Now, not only were women treated way better in relationships, the value for daughters kind of like spiked up. The average Asian family who once desired to have male children because they wanted their family names to move forward, they now have started prioritizing daughters over males because of the high demands for female children. I remember asking lots of colleagues of mine, Chinese colleagues of mine, if they were to go back to the past and they had the opportunity to pick just one child, would they rather go for a male child or a female? And most of them said they would rather go for female children. They'll pick female children over male children. This is basically because of the fact that the scarcity of female in China is actually a reality, is actually something real. So basically, you can see the reason why women are the price, not because women are actually seen as the price in China, but because of the gender imbalance existing in China. And so they men do not have any other choice but to meet the standards of these women. You can see them, treating their women as queens, sacrificing their salaries, giving the women all of their earnings in order to win their hearts. And basically, they're doing all of this not because they feel like, oh, yeah, I have to do it for them, but because there is a gender imbalance in China, and these men do not have any other choice but to treat the women better. So if you want to have a partner who's going to treat you better, you can go to China and find yourself a Chinese man. So this brings me to the end of this video. Please do well to like, subscribe to my channel, and share it to your friends. Bye.